Hello everyone, we are still in topic 3, which is finding the confidence interval for the difference between two means. Previous video already mentioned on the difference between independent and dependent samples. Today, this video still focuses on independent sample, but now for unknown case. Unknown case means we do not have any information or we do not have any value for both variances and standard deviation for both of the group. As you can see here, there are two different formula for confidence interval, which are when the variances are equal and when the variances are unequal. Since we have two different formulas, we need to determine which one of the formula to be used to calculate the confidence interval. How we want to determine? This can be determined by using the Levene's test. So what is Levene's test? Levene's test is to test the equality of variances. This means that we want to know whether the variance for the group 1 is it equal to the variance of the group 2. Equality. So this one can be done through the hypothesis testing procedure. This we call as a hypothesis testing procedure. Okay, so here there are 4 steps that you need to do. Okay, the first one is state the hypothesis. For this one, hypothesis would be we have null hypothesis and then we have alternative hypothesis. This one we call as null hypothesis, and this one H1 is an alternative hypothesis. Alternative. Okay. For the null hypothesis, it can be written as variance, which is a sigma square from group 1, is equal to the variance from the second group. This one means that equal variances. We assume that both of the variances are equal. For the alternative, variance group 1 is unequal to the variance from the group 2. This one is unequal variances. Please be careful. One is equal and another one is unequal. Please do not misplace. That is the first step. Second step is stating the p-value. How to state the p-value? For the p-value, you do not have to calculate. So where we get this value? For example, you can take a look at the slide on page 35. This one, there are two different tables here. Okay, I would name this one as table A and this one as table B. Okay, now we want to write the p-value. We want to state the p-value. But where is the p-value? Okay, so please look at this one. Levene's test. Okay, Levene's test. Because on the Levene's test part, there are two values. We have F value and SIG. SIG stand for significant value. Which means that this is the p-value. Please be careful, because here you have another SIG, but then this one is also p-value. However, this one is not under the Levene's. The Levene's part only have two. Okay, we have only F and the p-value. P-value here This one is for the t-test, which you will see in chapter 4. The one that for living test is only on the living test part. Okay, please look at this one. We have only two, F and p-value. F and p-value. So this one is p-value for the living test. This one, p-value for the t-test. So it is different. Please be careful. Okay, take example for table A. The p-value here is 0 point. This one is point, meaning that we have 0 in front of the number. 0.298. So just take this value. So 0.298. This one from the table A. Okay. And then you just set the p-value. The value will be given based on the output. So please take the value carefully. And then we'll proceed to the step number 3, which is the decision. For decision, I will encourage you to start with the rule. Rule is like the how you want to make the decision. Decision a step is whereby you need to decide whether you want to reject the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, the rule here is if this one is you need to remember. The rule here is if p-value less than or equal to alpha, alpha is given, p-value is also given. If p-value less than alpha, then you will reject the null hypothesis. This is the rule. So what is our decision? Let's say that alpha here is 0.05. For example, so what is our decision? So decision is since, please begin your answer with since p-value. P-value, what is the p-value? 0.298. So 0.298 and then 0.05. So this value is greater than, right? 0.298 is greater than 0.05. So this one, we cannot reject. Am I right? Because in order we want to reject the null hypothesis, the p-value need to be smaller than alpha. However, our case is greater than. So what we want to do? So the decision is fail to reject. Fail to reject meaning that we cannot reject the null hypothesis. This one, we cannot reject the null hypothesis. This is the decision. And then go straight to the conclusion. So fail to reject, right? So if we fail to reject, go back to your hypothesis. Fail to reject meaning that you cannot reject the null hypothesis. This is our null hypothesis. Betul tak? This is our null hypothesis. Okay, we cannot reject this one. Fail to reject meaning that our conclusion is we assume equal variances. So conclusion is assume equal variances. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say for table B is also the p-value 0.79. For example, I just put it here. Okay, I just put it here. 0.79. So how you want to make decision? Okay, you begin to answer. Since the p-value 0.79 is also greater than 0.05, then your decision is also fail to reject null hypothesis. So what is your conclusion? Also assume equal variances. Okay, let's take another example. So another example, let's see. Okay, shall we go to this one, July 2024? Sorry, July 2024, this one is question number 2. Please look at A. Based on the p-value of the Levene's test, test the equality variances or variances in the study. Use alpha 0.05. It means that you need to do the Levene's test. How to do the Levene's test? Just like what I have shown to you. This one, you need to have all the steps. You need to write all the steps. Okay. Hypothesis, begin your with the hypothesis. For example, this question is about we have two groups here whereby we have men and we have women. So for this one, I will start my answer with label. For example, I would like to start with label. Let's say that I want to label one as men, two is women. Or also if you do not want to use one and two, also you can use M for men, W for women. This one is also okay. Okay, meaning that I will know if you write M, that one is for the men, W is for the women, as long as you write the label. Okay, so this one you can do. The hypothesis is, what should I write? I write it. Okay, it's okay. I just write it here. For example, hypothesis, right? Hypothesis. So we have null and we have alternative for now. So variance for men equal to variance for women. Can you see here? My label is M and W, but also you can do 1 and 2 as long as you write the label. And the other one, variance for men unequal to variance for women. This is the first part, first step, stating your hypothesis. And then we go to the second step is where you need to write your p-value. So see here, Levene. See here, SIG, this is the p-value. So what is the value? This is the value, 0.015. Done. And then you go to the step number 3, which is the decision. Remember, you need to always write the rule. Please write the rule because it is very important. It will lead you, it will guide you on how you want to do the decision. Rule here is if p-value less than or equal to alpha, then reject the null hypothesis. This is rule. And you continue with the decision. So our decision is since, remember, begin your answer with since the p-value 0.015, okay, and 0.05. So 0.01 and 0.05 is, of course, is less than, right? This value is less than alpha 0.05. Am I right? 1 and 5. So less than. So if it is less than, hence our decision is reject null hypothesis. Okay. And then you go to the fourth step. The final step is conclusion. Fourth is conclusion. Since we reject null, reject meaning that we do not want it. We reject. Okay, we reject. This one, in order for you to write the conclusion, please look at your decision. Your decision is reject. Reject null hypothesis. Okay, we go back to your hypothesis. This is null. This is alternative hypothesis. Decision is reject. Reject means we do not want it. Reject. So our conclusion is this one lah. So assume unequal variances. Full stop. And then we'll get 4 marks. You can repeat this one by doing the February 2025 question number 2A. This question also asks you to conduct the Levene'S test, similar to July 2024. You can do this one as your homework. Okay, thank you very much.